Ethnically, I'm Russian, but I was born in Azerbaijan. I grew there, and I feel the problem of those refugees and children in Azerbaijan who are living there since my childhood. I meet with them, I speak with them, and I can speak from my personal experience what exactly those children feeling while they're living there. As a result of aggressive occupational military policy of Armenia in the end of 1918s, as already been mentioned, 20% of Azerbaijani territory had been occupied. Hundreds and thousands of innocent civilians became victims. Armenian military troops have never put a division between women, men, children, elderly people. They are just committed their crime against people, against humanity, against children without any division. So, throughout all these years, they killed and maimed hundreds of people. There are more than 1 million refugees and IDPs who are now staying in Azerbaijan. And apart from all what I'm saying, children remain the most vulnerable to armed conflict, not only in Azerbaijan, but all around the world. According to the reports presented by Women and Children Affairs to International Organization for the Protection of Children's Rights, 32 children have been victims of the fire opened by the snipers and other large and small caliber weapons of Armenian military units since the time of ceasefire. 13 of them were killed and 19 wounded. Only in the case with Khojaly, the Azeri populated town, which is just within one night on February 26, 1992, Armenians killed 613 civilians. From them, 106 of the victims were women, 63 were children. It was winter, it was really terrible and cold weather, and all of these people, they stayed just without houses. That's why many children were frozen. Many women were frozen also. They couldn't find a place where they can stand. Just imagine a situation, you're sitting in your houses, you're having drink, you're with your parents, with your husband, children, you enjoy your life, you have some plans for the future, and immediately someone comes to your house, just take you out and kill with a real brutal things. So you can imagine what those people just felt within one night. Apart from that, 33 children who were killed in that night in Khojaly town, 855 kindergartens and 693 secondary schools were destroyed in the occupied territories of Azerbaijan. Since 2011, more than 10 children had been shot by snipers. Many of them were fatally wounded, unfortunately. Another issue is that there was an explosion of a toy stuffed with explosives and flown down along the river from Armenian side. In general, according to unofficial data, there were more than 5,000 children among 30,000 people killed as a result of the conflict continuing since the late 1918s between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And this is only an incomplete list of such crimes. These children do not have a chance to have a normal childhood and normal life. Every day they wake up with a fear to be killed. Every day when their parents leave home for farming, because this is mostly people who are living there, they're mostly farmers. So when the parents leave home, there is just one question from the children they can hear, like, will they come back or not? They do not have a chance to play in the country yard without the fear to be killed, as the shells can fall down in the place where they are. From the video which we just showed in the beginning, you can see the living conditions where children living there. Just 3 weeks ago, together with the chairman of International Eurasia Press Fund, we went to the front line between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and we also was with, there was one of my friends, international student who is currently studying in Azerbaijan. So we just visited the village where people are still living, despite the fact that it's where there is a big threat for them to be killed in any day. We met with a mother who lost her daughter just in April 2016 during the escalation of the conflict. So she saw that her daughter just died on her hands. We also met a little boy who approached us. He was smiling. He was just looking at us with the interest, like, what are you doing here? Do you come here to help us or what? And when you look at the child, you feel the pain, you feel that despite all of these smiles and his good words, still these people are scared to live there, and they just have a big hope that very soon this conflict can be resolved. This boy was with her sister. Unfortunately, they lost their parents during this conflict, and they were standing together. So my friend, international student, it was really painful for her to stay there, and she just saw how this child was, maybe it was a bit cold for him, so she just took out her hat and gave him as a present. It was a big gest, and it made cry everyone who were standing there. When we left, just those children still was looking at us like, please, I hope like people in the international community can pay more attention to this conflict and maybe resolve it in the nearest time. So you watched the video, you saw that these children are saying they want just peace and opportunity to live in peaceful conditions with their family members, to go to school, to study, and go sleeping without any fear to be killed. Also, among the brochures which is spread here, you saw the platform, peaceful platform, which is now on discussion between Armenia and Azerbaijan. So there are some civilians from Armenian side also who feel like this conflict cannot bring any good feedbacks for Armenia in the future, and still they're suffering. They just want the conflict to be resolved. They want to in accordance with international standards, with UN resolutions, and they want just to have a peace. So maybe you can get a bit more information from those brochures. Dear friends, I would like to stop here and just to conclude. It's a pity that within more than 25 years, this conflict remains unsettled. It's a pity that I cannot speak about these children suffered in result of aggressive military policy of Armenia in the past tense. The problems of children still exist, and I just hope that once this issue will attract more attention from the international community, especially from the United Nations. As maybe you know, there are 4 resolutions of the United Nations passed during the Armenia-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, which demands withdrawal of Armenian troops from the occupied territory of Azerbaijan. And I hope that there will be stability and peace in the region as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much.